What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So there's a seconds out interview with Radio Raheem and Roy Jones Jr. So basically, they talked about a lot of things, and when they mentioned Anthony Joshua, Radio Raheem asked Roy Jones if he was Anthony Joshua, what would he do? So Roy, in a situation with the rematch with Usyk, so Roy Jones said if he was Anthony Joshua, what he would do is like step aside and let Usyk go out and fight, uh, whoever, Tyson Fury, whoever. And he says that what he would do is, and know that take that time to prepare to get better, so he can come back and win. But then he said if it's about just okay, I want my titles back, I could look and see some things that I can fix, and then I just might be able to get my championship back. Now he said that in this video, and he also said, he was, that he reached out to Anthony Joshua, and that he was told, "Have your people call my people." Now, I can tell you, at least some of what it's about. Anthony Joshua would know altogether if it's more than what I'm about to say, but because people were saying, well, he didn't say anything bad about Anthony Joshua. The reality is, Roy Jones said, when he said they don't want Fury versus Usyk right now because boxing just got a hell of a heavyweight fight with Fury and Wilder, and so when Usyk, defeated AJ, he was saying that Tyson Fury versus Usyk is a boring fight. When you get two boxers in the ring, you're gonna get a boring fight. So he's clearly like overlooking Anthony Joshua's rematch clause, and I probably more than like Anthony Joshua for one feel like he's being disrespected in that regard. He feels like he's being overlooked. Like no, just know where you're gonna be Usyk. So I'm pretty sure his pride is hurt on that. Like, okay, so y'all acting like I can't come back in here and win this fight. Now, the reality is Anthony Joshua is going to have to come back and win. I don't think there's a lot of people that really believe, even if they want him to win, that they can 100% say, oh, I feel like I know he's going to come back and win. And you never know. When you think you know, sometime, hey, man, the opposite happens. But I believe he feels like, yeah, they're overlooking my rematch. They're talking like I'm out of it, like I'm done. So, if anything, he feels some kind of way. And for him to say, have your people call my people, it would be nothing to just take the phone call, right, and talk to Roy. So, that's his way of saying, I have nothing to talk about with you, Roy. If they bump into each other, it might be what's going on, whatever. It might be a small chit chat, who knows. But I feel like that's what that is. And I mean, have your people call my people just for a conversation. It's not for Roy's benefit, so I believe like that's what that's about. And pretty much everybody is talking about Anthony Joshua I'm not going to say in a negative light. I mean, those being negative is being negative. I myself hope AJ can get his titles back. I myself want to see AJ become undisputed. Okay. If he can fix what he needs to be fixed and beat Usyk, is yet to be seen. One of the biggest issues, like I said, I did a video about it with Anthony Joshua, is his mindset. He looked lost in that ring, and for someone, he looked bad. He didn't start out bad against Andy Ruiz. He looked bad after he got dropped, and in this fight with Usyk, he never could get anything going. So it's like, why would anybody feel like, oh, he's definitely going to win a rematch? Like I said, I don't do this definite and guarantee stuff, but more than likely, for what he needs to do to win, he might need more time than what he has. I don't know. I mean, Usyk looks 100 20% supremely confident, smiling every time you see him. He's, out there shaking hands with Terrence Crawford, relaxing, chilling, having a good time. And, AJ, the last two interviews he did, he just seemed like he was going through some emotional things. That's not, it seemed like that's what he was doing, and, I don't know what he has, if he has what it takes to get his titles, but I don't know. That's what the fights are for. I'm not a freaking mind reader, and I'm not a fortune teller. Put it like that. And at the end of the day, it's like just watching his actions and going off of his energy and his vibes. Like, yeah, he to me, I don't think he sounds ready. To me, he doesn't. I'll give you an example of something too. Now, the fight never materialized, the rematch, but remember when Klitschko lost to Tyson Fury? What did you hear Klitschko say in the face-off with Tyson Fury before the second fight? Trust me, I will be ready. I will be ready. I know what I do wrong. Trust me, this fight will be different. I will not do the same thing in this fight. I know what I do wrong. Anthony Joshua is yet to even sound like he's relaxed and like, listen, I want my titles back, and I'm focused. I'm in the gym. I'm studying. I'm doing the things I need to do, and I'm confident. I'm confident. I know what I can do. I will correct what I did, the mistakes I made last time out. Not to try to sound tough or try to sound like he's more confident than what he is. That's the point. He's not there. Because we've heard him talk like that in the past when he's confident. And this time around, it's like when you listen to him, he just doesn't sound like his confidence is there. I just feel like what he needs to do to beat Usyk, I don't think he's crafty enough. See, because AJ, what we know that he needs to do to win, if he has it in him to understand, I have to do it. I can't just study film and think about it. I have to go out there and have the heart to do it. I need to get this dude up out of here. I need to stick behind his jab, work off this jab, combinations, power shots, dictate the pace with this stick. Back him up. Do not let this little man walk me down. Have me at a stalemate. Let him get comfortable and pick his shots. Anthony Joshua has, it's a lot to it that people don't understand. That it's a lot to absorb. And what Anthony Joshua showed me in that ring that night was, like I said, he does not have a high boxing IQ. He's a good, he can box, okay. But again, with him not being comfortable, you don't see it right now. You didn't see that in that fight. He did enough to last the 12 rounds. He got rocked in the last round, was getting caught with some shots. And in all honesty, Usyk even the expression on his face, he said he expected more than Anthony Joshua. But that's how he looked at it. Like, man, that was my big, my big showdown match with Anthony Joshua. That he looked disappointed. That's how he looked to me. Like, hey, I mean, you won the fight. But he said he expected more than Anthony Joshua. And this is the thing. We all know that Anthony Joshua has looked better. But, at this stage in his career, 30, 31 now, he needs to understand that the fundamentals that he's lacking, the older he gets, the more time goes by, people are going to be studying him. And there's things that when they see that you lack, they're going to get you. They're going to jump on you. They're going to get you. When people know, like Lennox Lewis was a late bloomer, right? But Lennox Lewis, look at how great Lennox Lewis became as a fighter. He was a late bloomer. Bernard Hopkins was a late bloomer. Anthony Joshua was not so much a late bloomer. It's just a simple fact. It's like, for the amount of time that he had been boxing and what he was doing, yeah, he was doing very well. But, in defeat, he looked terrible both times. He hasn't had a fight where he just barely lost the fight. It could have went either way. It was he just looked, he just didn't look good at all. And again, he can't figure out what he needs to do in the fight. So that right there, it says a lot to me. And like I said, I want to see him win, but I'm just being honest. So yeah, that to me, taking that all in, that was his issue with Roy Jones, and pretty much anybody else that's talking about Fury versus Usyk. Like, man, I never said I'm stepping aside. I want this fight. I want my titles back. Now, did he believe in himself right now? I don't know. And the thing is, what AJ do need to understand, it's his own words that people are looking at him funny, myself included. We're all looking at him like, AJ, the stuff coming out your mouth, you're not confident, man. I don't think he's scared of Usyk. Do I feel like he's confident that he knows what to do to beat Usyk? No. Why would I? Why would I? You're only as confident as your words. Sometimes people are more afraid than they show. But like I said, I don't think he's afraid of him. But there's a lot of times, like, people say things, and like I said, it's not about just talking and saying things to try to sound tough and try to sound more confident than what you are. Because come fight night, that's what it's going to show if you're ready or not. But I mean, overall, it's just the type of thing where Anthony Joshua truly sounds unsure of himself. He just does. So at the end of the day, that's what his issue is with Roy Jones. Have my people call your people just for a phone call for something that's benefiting you. That could, information that could benefit you. It's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, if he trusts his team and he feels like Rob McCracken is all he need, or whoever else he might have secretly brought in, or or not, because we haven't heard anything about anybody else coming into camp. I don't know. But he just needs to understand that he Roy Jones is the least of his worries. He needs to focus on beating Usyk, and he can't come in there and fight Usyk the same way and win. And I think I'm sure he knows that, but I don't know that he's capable of absorbing what he needs. None of us do. That's why we need to see it. So anyway, that's that on that. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.